Okay, today I want to talk about the importance of getting an earnest money deposit from your cash buyer. So in particular, I'm talking about when you're wholesaling deals. So when you're wholesaling a deal, typically in most cases, you get a property under contract, you pay an earnest money deposit to get that property under contract. So let's call it $500. So you pay that to the seller, right? Now you've got a contract in place, you've paid an earnest money deposit, and now you turn around and you find a cash buyer who you're going to then wholesale your deal to. Now, this is probably the number one mistake I see a lot of wholesalers make is they find a cash buyer that they're going to wholesale their deal to, and they don't get an earnest money deposit from their cash buyer. Now, you paid an earnest money deposit, and you paid that because the seller wants you to put some good faith, and so you should be doing the same thing. Always get an earnest money deposit from your cash buyer. Now, ideally, you get as much as you can, because the rule is the more skin they have, the more they pay in that earnest money, then the more likely they are to perform on the contract and close on the deal, and you get paid. So I've had this happen to me where I did not get an earnest money deposit from my cash buyer, and then closing day comes, I'm at the closing, no cash buyer. Awkward, right? That's not a situation you want to be in. So it's easy to walk away, change your mind, find another deal if you've got nothing on the line. Get $1,000 or even more from a cash buyer as earnest money deposit, non-refundable, then you have a much higher chance that he's going to perform on the contract, continue through to closing, and close. In fact, to make things easy, I typically like to get the same earnest money deposit from my cash buyer that I paid. So if I pay $1,000 earnest money to the seller, I get $1,000 earnest money from my cash buyer. Basically, they're reimbursing my deposit. Makes the accounting really easy. But again, if you can get more, if you can get $2,000, $5,000 earnest money deposit from your cash buyer, the more the better, right? That just puts more skin in the game on the cash buyer to fulfill their contract and close on that deal. So don't skip out on that. Don't miss that step. Make sure you get it. If a cash buyer is reluctant, tell them, look, I've got earnest money on the deal. You need to put earnest money on the deal. I need to know you're serious. Here's what I need, $1,000 or whatever it is. And if they're reluctant or won't do that, then that's a real good sign that they're probably not gonna come through and close on the deal anyway, okay? And I take it a step further, and I wanna verify funds. I wanna make sure that they have the cash. I'm not just gonna take their word for it. Again, I don't wanna get to closing and have my cash buyer flake out, right? So make sure you get that. That's really important, and I hope this was helpful. See you next time.